大谷翔平選手が労働した4月16日のドジャース戦に敗れ、連敗がいよいよ8まで伸びてしまったメッツ。試合後の会見でメンドーサ監督は、
選手たちはもっと良いプレーをする必要がある。彼らは才能に恵まれているが、それをグラウンドで発揮できていない。これは準備や彼らが費やしている努力とは何の関係もない
と奮起を促す発言をしている。ここからドジャースとの3連戦前に若干の希望を抱きながらもスイープという結果に終わり落胆するメッツファンやニューヨークメディアの様子をお伝えする。
Listen, you just lost 5 straight. That could easily turn into 8 straight. That could easily turn into you went 1-7 in your last 8. But you could also go out there and you could make a statement. I get it. There's not a lot in their favor right now. You know, you think about the traveling, you think about the fact that it's been freezing cold here, which I feel like has honestly not helped anybody.
No.
Think about the fact that they haven't had a day off. Like, there are a lot of different excuses you can make for why the Mets wouldn't play well in this series, but it doesn't mean that they shouldn't. And you know what? I think sometimes when you're slumping and it's actually against weaker competition, sometimes you do need a situation like this where you go up against a strong team to actually see where exactly you stand and possibly play up to your competition. Or not, we'll see.
Well, you're right to say, I think we talk about, like, you can look at this as a disaster for the Mets, or you can look at it as an opportunity, right? All of a sudden, the feeling this week, if they, against all odds with who's pitching, go in there and take 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles, then you're back up. You go to Chicago, you play the Cubs, you continue on.
People are taking a little joy in our misery, and that's okay. We signed up for that with our Dodgers following. That's all right. Yes, the Mets get swept out of LA, blown out of the water. I mean, we kind of said it heading into this series. I would have been happy to take 1 game of this series with the way the Mets are playing. Unfortunately, that was not even possible. They lost last night in a game that was 8-2 loss to the Dodgers, and it just shouldn't have been like that. We're going to get into it right now, but how the score ended up 8-2 in that game, I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Me too. And you want to know the funny thing, and I don't know if you're going to agree with this. Normally, I feel like I'd have more to say about an 8-2 loss, but honestly, all of those runs were, in my opinion, almost like garbage runs coming in garbage time because the Mets were going to lose either way. I'm not even that mad that the score was 8-2. I'm mad that it seems like once the Mets get behind, which feels like every night, there's no way for them to recover. Like, they just don't win games. Like, the score matters less to me right now than the deep-rooted not winning issues.
If you're a Mets fan or if you're a Dodgers fan, like, just open question to the group. Did you at any point in this series, one time, feel like the Mets were going to win whatever game they were playing? I think the answer to that is no. Even when it was a close game last night, you sort of knew something was going to happen. You knew the spark wasn't there. But I want to go through one moment. We have to address it off the top. I have some bigger picture things to say in terms of David Stearns, Carlos Mendoza, because we are just in rock bottom hell of losing 8 in a row. The sky's falling in New York. The sky's falling. But if we want to talk about one moment of yesterday's game that kind of took what was a somewhat close game into a non-competitive game, here we go again. Francisco Lindor not charging a ground ball in, it was Teoscar Hernandez who hit the ground ball to him. Lindor doesn't charge it. He's safe at first base. That opens the floodgates. It becomes a blowout. Devin Williams, the wheels fall off the bus. Williams has been good so far. Last night wasn't his night. Shocker, he's pitching against the Dodgers. Francisco Lindor, we covered this on our last episode. It is yet another example of what on earth is going on with this guy. Francisco Lindor has been manning shortstop out there for years. He knows a little dribbler like that, a ball that bounces 3 times, you got to charge it. You got to get him out. Now, to Teoscar Hernandez's credit, he's busting it down the line like it's Game 7 of the World Series. He's out there sprinting, and it paid off because he was safe. And then obviously that paved the way for the Dodgers to win the game handily. But first of all, on Lindor's end, what's happening? And on the Dodgers' end, that kind of just speaks to everything that's wrong here, right? Like, it sounds so silly, but the example of Teoscar Hernandez, of all guys, busting it down the line, getting an infield single out of that, and then they obviously go on to rally beyond that. That's the type of spark that this Mets team is missing. That's the type of momentum, heart, hustle, whatever you want to call it. No one on the Mets has shown us this year, right? Like, it's almost remarkable.
Frank, how do you feel about the Dodgers coming up?
Well, it's going to be a sweep, a skull fucking, and Lindor going, get it in! Lindor says that winning is fastest, and he's so glad that the Mets don't do it.
Are they going to get swept?
Yep.
How many runs do they
And Carlos Mendoza is going to do it. And Tommy Luzgauer of WFAN says that Sweeping builds character. He goes, if you lose 100 games, that means next year it will be an improvement no matter what. And then you go winless, then you can't be worse. But it's good to lose because it builds character.
Thank you, Frank.
Here you have it, another heartless, lifeless, shit game. I mean, Clay Holmes, decent, but gets the loss. Francisco Alvarez has his head so far up his ass. What's the first base coach even doing there? The ball falls in, and he's running back to first. Then you got Lindor smiling, and he's playing grab ass with the opponent. He plays grab ass. That's all he does. Hates his teammates, but plays grab ass with the opponent. I am tired of the fraternization of Lindor during the game. I am tired of watching him smile, and then he comes, ground ball hits him, he lollygags. And another big inning because of his fucking lack of hustle and heart. And his team is dead. 8 in a row since that goddamn fucking song played on the fucking moon. And they are never gonna win another fucking game.
Are you pressing the panic button on the Mets already?
You know what, Chelsea? It's concerning. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, panic button. Listen, I don't think the Mets season's over, but you can bury yourself early, John. I mean, that's the other issue you have here is that, you know, you go into Chicago, right? You have an 8-game losing streak. There's not really much, anything when you look at that lineup in terms of some sense of production, right? Even when you're getting quality start like you did against Nolan McLean, still find a way to lose. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Bad base running, bad defense. You know, you look at it, not heading the game. You hear the frustration from Carlos Mendoza after the game, and then you say to yourself, well, this team's going to go out there and start to press because let's be honest, it's a group that's been brought together, right? A lot of changes during the course of the offseason, and you needed this group, and especially when you look at the manager, pressure's on him, and when you're looking at Mendoza, you know, they needed to get off to a good start. It's been the complete antithesis of that. Right. So it's getting late early here for the Mets. Panic's a little bit strong, Chelsea, but I would tell you this, they've got to start playing some better baseball than they are right now.
It's concerning for sure.
No question. If we were going to look at a panic meter, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I'm around a 6, 6.5. And that has escalated quite a bit over the past week because I thought playing the Dodgers in a way would wake this team up after the funk they had at home. Instead, it was just a team that was thoroughly outclassed by the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I was of the mindset that the Mets going into this year, we're going to be able to hang. We're going to be able to play with the best team that baseball has to offer. Anemic offense, mental mistakes up the wazoo, defense that has not delivered, bad baseball needs to change. It's not over yet. A lot of baseball left to be played. But to say, hey, no big deal. Watch those games over the last 8 or 9 games and try to sit there and tell me no big deal. No, it's problematic.